Okay, so we're going to talk about expanded form of a number today. Expanded form. And when you think about expanding something, you're just thinking about stretching something out, kind of like blowing up a balloon. And how as you blow air into a balloon and it keeps stretching and expanding until it grows much larger. And so what we're going to do is we're expanding a number into each of its place values. Let's look at the number. We're going to do 372. So let's look at the number 372. Now, right now, 372 is in standard form. It's the regular way we see a number. But now we're going to expand that number into each of its place values. So I'm going to use the place value chart, and I'm going to fill the number 372 into my place value chart. So I'm going to write 372. Now, when I do this, I can see that my 3 lives in the hundreds place. My 7 lives in the tens place. And my 2 lives in the ones place. So what that does is that gives each of our digits in our number a value. So it's not just a 3 and a 7 and a 2 living beside one another. It's that 3 is actually has a value of 300. The 7 has a value of 70. And the 2, because it's in the ones place, just has a value of 2. We have 2 ones. We had 7 tens, which is 70. And we had 3 hundreds, which is 300. And so, mathematically, if you were to add 300 plus 70 plus 2, you're going to get 372. So when you're looking at expanded form, and we would write expanded form this way. Erase this. We're going to actually write expanded form horizontally. So 300 plus 70 plus 2. If we look at another number, let's look at a little bit bigger number this time. We're going to go 27,084. So 27,084. So again, I'm going to take my number and I'm going to place it on the place value chart. Now, if I'm really struggling with my place values, which digit goes where, I can actually start at the smallest value, the 4, and fill in moving from the right to the left. Because remember, as we talked about in our place value chart, our digits grow in value. They get larger as they move to the left in the place value chart. So I'm going to start with my 4, then the 8, then the 0, then the 7, and finally the 2. And I'm going to make sure to put my comma in, just as it is here, because that comma, remember, divides those 2 periods between the units period and the thousands period. So now, I'm just going to look at the value of each digit. So I can see now that my 2 is not just a 2, I have 2 10,000s. So I have 20,000. So 20,000. If I move to my 7 is in the 1,000s place. So I have 7 1,000s or 7,000. Again, I'm going to make sure I have those commas in there. The next digit that I'm going to look at is my 0 in the hundreds place. Well, that just means I don't have any hundreds. I have 0 hundreds. So I can either leave it blank and just not put that on my as part of my expanded form, or if I needed to have it there, just for a visual, I'm going to put 0, 0, 0. And that just tells me I don't have any hundreds at all. So you can either leave it this way, or I'll come over or I can just erase it and completely leave it out. And you'll see how this works in just a moment. So the next digit, I'm going to move on. I have an 8 in the tens place. So I have 8 tens. 8 tens is 80. So now I'm going to write my 80. And as you can see, my digit 8 lines up with that 8. My digit 7 lines up with this 7. My digit 2 lines up with this 2. Finally, I'm going to look at this last digit, the 4 in the ones place. So that just means I have 4 ones, or just 4. So I'm going to finally place that 4 in my ones place. So now, if I were to come through and add this together, add all these numbers together, it would be a 4, and then an 8, and then because I have just zeros here, nothing here, it would be a 0, then my comma, and then my 7, and then my 2. And to write out this number in expanded form would be, and I'm going to come down here a little lower, would be 20,000 plus 7,000 plus, now for the 100, I can either write 0, 0, 0, showing that I have no hundreds if I need it there, or I can take that out and simply move to my 8 in the tens place, which is 80, plus 4. So this would be the expanded form of 27,084. So if you're struggling on what place value the digits are in as you're writing it in expanded form, a strategy you can use is to plug the digits into a place value chart to help you write the number correctly in expanded form.